A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. It's so lovely to see you. And I'm really pleased to be able to welcome Joanna Mikhail. Welcome, Joanna. Lovely to see you.
Hello, thank you.
It's so lovely to have you on today because you have been a homeopath for a while. You've joined our Homeopathy 24/7 team, and I know that you have got a real interest in sleep. Tell us a little bit about why. Why did that happen?
Yeah, so I found homeopathy when I was having trouble sleeping and with my anxiety. It was chronic insomnia. And I was on antipsychotic medication that really wasn't suiting me. And that is when I reached out and found homeopathy. And yeah, I can just say it was truly miraculous. So that is my niche now, and I just love to help people that have similar situations.
Because you really understand it then. You've come from that area in your life when actually, because let's face it, sleep affects everything, doesn't it? It affects every aspect of your day-to-day living. And you mentioned anxiety as well, and I expect we see that quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, it really does. If you're not sleeping, then you've not got the energy for your body to be making those happy hormones and to get into that rest and digest place.
Yeah. So I know that people often come to us and say, okay, look, I'm not sleeping. I'm not, that I should be getting more sleep. What is going through your mind when people say that?
So it's really interesting that sleep would be the reason people make the call. But then actually, when I start to speak with them, it's why, what's happened. And there's always a reason, whether it's traumatic experiences or a loss, or there's other physiological things happening, such as low iron perhaps, or, a change. There's always something. And then it's the sleep that is a consequence of that.
Okay, so it's kind of a symptom that's trying to tell us something else is wrong, but it's not necessarily the sleep that needs addressing, it's something else.
Yeah.
And of course, that's perfect for homeopathy, isn't it? Because with mainstream medicine, it doesn't work like that. You've got a sleep problem, you need a sleep tablet. There's not a lot else, is there? And we find that a lot of people going through hormone changes, through anxiety and stress-related times are going to suffer more with their sleep. And as you said, the sleep is actually the time where your cells are getting through the metaphage stage of clearing out the waste that's happened during the day before. And so if you don't have that opportunity, it's absolutely going to have a knock-on effect day on day on day, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, this is where in our rest time is where we clear out all the thoughts, our decision-making capabilities, and that affects everything of like life choices and the ability to make decisions.
So when somebody comes to you and starts talking about sleep and you start asking about, okay, well, I actually need to know a lot more, or you need to know the history. And is that the opportunity then that you go through the whole health history?
Yeah. And I often ask how people slept as a child. Did they have sleep issues then, or perhaps night terrors, and then there's usually a pattern, which is really opens up, and then they're able to then understand more about themselves. They might not have linked that before.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I love about homeopathy is that it is such a great opportunity, isn't it, to learn more about yourself
Yeah.
and the symptoms that you've had way back as
Yeah.
well. So obviously you've got a lot of different issues going on with children, maybe from adults. Do you, but you look after everybody with sleep issues,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah, I do. And I think children's sleep is really interesting as well. One hand, like if a child's not sleeping, the whole household,
Yeah.
it affects everything. And also just a really interesting thing that children come into this earth with their own thing already. What
Yeah.
have they already inherited? And night terrors, sleepwalking, things like this is real telltale sign. And if we can get that under control, it then, happy nights, happy days.
Okay, that's a really good way of putting it, isn't it? So, right from that early stage of children with sleep issues, um, are there good acute remedies that somebody could have to help today? Or do you really need to go straight into miasmatic and constitutional remedies?
Yeah, it depends really, I think. Because even when an adult or a child come to me with a chronic issue, very often, if it's fitting, I can give them an acute remedy to help them sleep tonight.
Okay.
Because when you aren't sleeping, you need that problem solving right away. We cannot wait. So there are some really good remedies for acutes that I recommend, and that are really successful as well.
And let's go back and talk about children for a moment and night terrors, because what would be the cause of night terrors? Where do you start with somebody that is experiencing night terrors?
Yeah, it's a really interesting point, and I think very often um, it is that miasmatic and
Okay.
it's inherited.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I've seen in my own
Is it?
experience of the cases that I've seen. When we look, what was the parents, grandparents' history,
Mm.
and then you can see, okay, is there addiction, trauma, these things? And I don't know. Have you found that link?
Yeah. My question is then is are people are children needing the remedy that the adults might have had
Oh,
if
yeah,
they'd have had homeopathy? Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? If they're carrying the trauma of past parents or
yeah,
grandparents, then miasmatically as well as sort of miasmatic remedies, could we actually we need to know what was going on with the parents, don't we? We need to know that trauma, and actually, are they carrying that? It's just to me a really interesting thing because when dealing with these problems with children, where is it actually coming from, and where do we start those conversations?
yeah. Another thing that I love to explore with the families that I work with is that these children are often very gifted. So
Oh,
they are often very spiritual children. They
yeah.
will, and sometimes they might even speak of dreams they have of their ancestors that perhaps they never met or something. And I think that's just fascinating that when the children comes to this earth, they have so much, and they're also what are they going, in when homeopathy, the remedies can put that child in the right place for them to fulfill their potential and what gifts they can offer.
That's a really good way of putting it because when we ask the question, what does homeopathy do? Why are we going to have it? What are we going to achieve here? And actually to say homeopathy is going to put you in the best position, that is a lovely way of describing it.
Yeah. It's not just, oh, let's get rid of the night terrors. It's
No,
actually, let's explore what's going on. What gifts and talents does your child have? And really take the best of that and make advantage of that.
what I love about that whole idea is that, again, you are learning. parents are learning so much about what this actually means about the child, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite different. It's very different. It's hugely different, isn't it, than mainstream medicine? Because what does a child who's having night terrors, what have they got if they haven't got homeopathy?
I know.
It's scary.
And then that child would go to school, they haven't slept well, so perhaps, they're not going to be achieved. They're very misunderstood.
Yeah.
And then it just spirals as well, because obviously this is the thing with sleep. Sleep breeds sleep. And then if you're not getting sleep, you don't get even more. And the problems escalate.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, tell me a little bit about the time of night when you might wake up, because that's a big thing in homeopathy, isn't it?
Yeah, I love this with the Chinese medicine and the circadian rhythms. I know that. So the 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. waking is very common. And it can be linked, not always in my experience, but sometimes does suggest to me that people need some organ support, perhaps liver. So I would suggest that alongside to a patient. Perhaps if they say there's overuse of caffeine and stimulants, because that's the thing as well. Again, the cycle. You don't sleep, so you need lots of coffee in the morning and then alcohol in the evening to keep you going. And then you will get to sleep, and then you wake up at 1 to 3 when your liver is most active and sorting out all the caffeine and the alcohol that you've consumed in the day.
Okay.
And the cycle goes on.
Yeah, it's like borrowed time, isn't it? You're borrowing your energy from tomorrow. Okay, so the time of the night when you're waking is really important. What about, I know that homeopathy looks at how you lie in bed, how you sleep, the position that you are in bed, because that can indicate different remedies as well, can't it?
I know. And people look at me very strange when I ask them about their sleep position, or, one foot out the bed or 1 foot, or one hot and one cold, or, how do you feel when you wake up in the middle of the night? Because some people have explained that they feel like their bed's too hard. So when they wake up from a refreshed night's sleep, they're so cozy in their bed, they don't want to get out of it. But then when they wake up at 2 in the morning, it feels like they're on hard stone. And how different, you're in the same place, but that's our perception has changed. I think that's fascinating. And it really does point to different remedies as well.
They're not the average questions that the doctor's going to ask, are they, when you go for sleep problems? Now, tell me about dreams, because I understand that there are different remedies for different dreams.
Yeah, I know. And there's the whole chapter in our wonderful repertory about dreams. And if you're having recurring dreams, and it really can pinpoint to what's going on, and the remedies, really nice signposts, dreams of falling or dreams of meeting celebrities, lots of interesting things.
Yeah, I love it. We've got dreams of mice and dreams of robbers and dreams of and all sorts of things listed, and then the remedies that have helped resolve this. It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because what is resolving? It's being less anxious at night, isn't it? Really, it's letting your mind work out the issues that it's working out.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to note that the remedies aren't going to change somebody's personality. When I ask patients about themselves, they often think that the remedy I give them, oh, will I not, because there's something we love about ourselves. I love vividly dreaming, and no, that it's not going to stop. It might not stop you from it might not change your sleep position. If you always sleep on your tummy, it doesn't mean that that's a bad thing and it needs a remedy so that you stop doing that. That symptom is highlighting. So people who sleep on their tummy will respond well to this remedy. And
Okay,
there's too many to mention.
Matching that symptom with the remedy, because that's the remedy that most suits you overall.
Yeah.
And so let's go back then, while we're on the subject. What is the remedy actually doing?
Yeah. So this is why we look at the whole symptom picture. And this is why, again, it's not, oh, you've got trouble sleeping, take this, because it's not just going to knock you out and then you'll be asleep for 8 hours. It's actually strengthening the whole person, putting you in that best position so that your own immune system and your whole body can work much better, be much stronger, have better energy levels, so that your body is doing the job that it was put on this earth to do.
So let's just repeat that, because it's so fundamental, is that you're not sleeping. It's not giving you something that makes you sleep that is going to heal you. It is actually addressing the cause for the reason you are not sleeping. And that's why homeopathy is so different than taking other forms of medication.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, don't you just love it? I mean, the thing is that people have, been brought up not knowing that this is an option, and that actually, let's work out what's happening whilst you're sleeping. And then how does that affect your energy during the day? Because it affects us all very differently as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I think it's what I love about homeopathy, and when I see the people that I work with, their progression, because the remedies as well, they target the areas that the vital life force. So you as a person, what's most important to you? So first of all, you've got your vital organs, your heart, these are the most important. So the remedy is going to work on those aspects first, and then it will filter out. And so what's least important to you as a person might be your skin, or I don't know, feeling panicky when you get on a train. So people might say, if you've taken the remedies for a couple of months, well, I'm not waking up at 2 a.m. anymore, but I still have this eczema or skin rash or something. And that's because it's the hierarchy of symptoms, we call it. So this is the way that the remedy works, is first of all saying that these vital organs are most important. So we fix those first, and then the rest will follow.
Brilliant. It's just understanding that. It's a big concept to take into consideration, isn't it? And I know that there's lots of information out there about how to improve your sleep health and your habits of going to sleep as well. Yeah. Can I just ask how you find that fits with homeopathy? Are you often advising, try not to have alcohol before you go to bed, or TV? Lights and other stimulations? Can these practical takeaways can work quite well with homeopathy?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because my heart actually says, when I speak to people who can't sleep, I'm just like, look, don't change anything else. Don't put any more pressure on yourself. Don't change anything. Just take the remedies and address it in a few weeks' time, because you're already doing, you're already frazzled. The last thing you need is a strict, well, you've got to cut this out and you've got to do that. Oh my God,
It
but
brings
at the same time, going out for walks in nature, getting that sunlight is obviously incredibly important. I don't know, the whole coffee thing and alcohol, that's for someone, that's for their personal, that's their choice, isn't it? But I think what's wonderful is how homeopathy works. It meets us where we're at. When I started homeopathy, I was taking antipsychotic medication, and you might think, oh, but how could you do that? You should have come off that but it was absolutely beautiful transition. And it was, I worked with my psychiatrist, and it was a really just felt very natural progression. And I love that homeopathy can work through whatever.
Where you are. And it's such an important point to point out that if you're taking medication, you can still use homeopathy. It works in a completely different way. It's not going to affect your medication in any way. What we're going to do is build up the body and the resilience first, so that you can then talk to your general practitioner about your medication and see what you're going to need. Because the great thing about homeopathy is that you're not going to need it forever. It's so different, isn't it?
Yeah. I love that as well. Yeah. And it's just widening the gap between seeing people as well as they're getting better.
Yeah, so able to go longer. So in actual fact, then what you're saying is you can take homeopathy if you're taking medication. You can take homeopathy if you for today, to help with your sleep today, and separate remedies to be addressing the cause of your symptom. But we are also looking at how your body is coping with everything else. So you're looking at organ support and everything else that you're doing, and any other physical symptoms that you have all come into that picture at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just amazing, isn't it? We're just so lucky to have homeopathy.
Yeah.
Have you got anything? Tell us a little bit of a story about helping somebody with a particular remedy.
Yeah, so I had a win recently. A patient got in touch. So she got in touch with me when her baby was 6 months, and she was finding that she'd actually managed to get her baby in quite a good routine, but then she was just lying there, too wired, not able to sleep. And but her win, so she's been on Sepia for the hormonal imbalances and lots of other things that had gone on. And yeah, she'd got in touch and was like, found joy in my life again. She's able to rest when the baby's sleeping. She's enjoying time with her partner and family again. So it really just highlights how it's not just the sleep that's improved.
It's
her overall perception of life. And she, she's like, I'm the mum now that I was born to be. I know that. It was so, yeah, it's really lovely.
That's a really lovely story. And I think you've written us a blog about Sepia, haven't you? So we'll put a link in that below. But also we have got a couple of ebooks where people can go and just find out about more about how homeopathy can help improve sleep.
Yeah.
So we'll put those links below, and we'll put it with Joanna's details, so anybody listening can get hold of Joanna and find out more, find out what to do next, where to go, and how homeopathy can sleep. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Joanna, for coming on and talking to us about homeopathy for use to improve sleep, because there are so many different aspects. It's such a huge subject, and I know that there's so many people who just need a little bit of help now, as well as looking at the bigger picture at the same time. So thank you for your time. It's been lovely talking with you. Now, next week, I will be talking with Dr. Varsha M. Karana, and we'll be talking about homeopathy during pregnancy. We'll cover a few aspects of conception and also the difference between constitutional prescribing, and also looking at how we will be helping with specific diagnosis through pregnancy. So this is going to be of interest to anybody thinking about becoming pregnant and thinking about having a baby, because there are so many things that you can be doing before you conceive. But also for those of you already pregnant, it's really interesting to know what can actually change using homeopathy and how we can package homeopathy in a way that is really useful for you learning during this phase. I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. I do hope you've enjoyed these episodes, and I do hope you can subscribe to our channels. Now, there are various ways for you to listen to our podcast or watch it on video on YouTube. So whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, please do subscribe and please do leave us a review. If you leave us a review on these platforms, then more people will see our podcast. We just want more people to share the joy of homeopathy. It's a choice that everybody should know about. Please do everything you can to help us help more people.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.